Hello, everybody. My name is Gina Harris. This week we was asked to find an object that can relate to our background, our personality, our values, and our ambitions. So I chose a piece of coal. My background is a little rough to say the least. I came from a long line of addiction, and sadly, I eventually did follow that path. But my grandmother would come and pick me and my brother up for church every Sunday. And much like a piece of coal, it put pressure on me to live in God's will. As I grew older, I went out on my own and I became a bartender, very much living on the party scene. I became addicted to alcohol and experimented with drugs. By the time I was 29, I got pregnant with my oldest son. I stopped going to work at a bar. I went and got a fast food job. And I made it through my pregnancy without drinking or using. But once I had my son, I went right back into that lifestyle. And I eventually ended up losing everything. I lost my home, lost my vehicle, took my son to my mother's house while I could try to figure things out. And I ended up spiraling out of control. I got pregnant, met my husband, and got pregnant with my middle child, my daughter. And I realized that I had a problem. So I checked I ended up going to jail for a bad check. And while I was in there, I met a man who was the CEO of a rehab. And so I asked him every day for 2 weeks. I told my mom, I said, don't bail me out. I'm trying to get myself into rehab. For 2 weeks, every day he walked by, I'd beat on the door and tell him, I need help. So eventually, my pleas made it through, and he got me a bed at the rehab. I called my mom. I asked her to come bail me out. I picked up my son, packed up my things, and immediately went to rehab. There, I was met with a lot of things that I had forgotten, which were my values. I was raised as a God-fearing person through my grandmother. And so there's more pressure being put on me to be who I'm supposed to be. So I graduated rehab and I got out and I helped a few more people actually get their lives together and get them checked into rehab. My husband being one. After he graduated rehab, we got married and I got pregnant with my final son, my baby. And I decided I want to come to school to be a drug and alcohol counselor. That God had put this pressure on me to turn me into what he intended for me to be. He gave me the ambition and the drive and the knowledge of what someone in addiction is going through. So my point of the story is once God puts enough pressure on this lump of coal, we can all turn into something much greater. I may not be a diamond yet, and God is still putting pressure on me, but I'm on my way to do his will. Thank you guys for watching.